What?
Started. Oh, well, good morning. And just popped up. I don't know what that was. Oh, someone's coming. We'll wait one more minute. We'll get started again. It's Friday, right? So, welcome everybody. We've been kind of working through the yamas, which are the healthy avoidances, I guess, if you will. So we've talked about what's the first one? Huh? Being, well, truthful is the second one, Satya. What's the first one, Jeanette? Anyway, it's non-harming or non-violent. And the third one now is Asteya, which means non-stealing. So I think that's interesting because you're all saying, well, I don't steal, right? We don't steal. But there's a lot of different ways that you can steal or take away from yourself or others. So think about that for a moment. Close your eyes, lengthen your spine. So when you steal, is actually your need to steal arises because you feel a lack. And I like to think of it as a lack of faith in ourselves to be able to create what we need. So when we feel a sense of lack, we look for something to fill that emptiness and often feel as though everyone else has what we want. So when you don't have faith in yourself or in the power greater than yourself to provide what you need, you feel this lack. So you take away from yourself in that way. Sometimes we take away from our kids because we want to make their lives easier, and so, or make our lives easier. Like in Connor's case, my grandson, sometimes when he's getting ready for school, it's just easier if I help him get dressed and put his shoes on. But that's kind of taking away from him because that's my need to get to school on time, right? And it's better for him to feel the accomplishment of getting ready by himself. We do that with our kids. Sometimes we speak for them. I know even my young adult kids, I'll interject and try and speak for them. Sometimes you can think of having too many things, hoarding, as taking away. When we buy more than we need, we're trying to fill a gap. When we let go of what we don't need, we make space for the universe to provide us with what we do need. So there's a lot of different aspects to non-stealing that you don't think about. Just bring hands to heart center. May we all remember Asteya, non-stealing. Just notice when we feel we're lacking. Realize that we have everything that we need inside of us. We trust in a power greater than ourselves. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. So today we're going to root to rise. So feel all parts of you that are touching the ground. And just bring your fingertips beside you. Just kind of press down with your fingers a little bit. Press down through your sits bones and get nice and tall. Lift your heart a little bit. And then walk your hands back a little further and just still kind of press down through your sits bones and your fingertips. Lift your heart a little bit more. Feel lengthening. And then one more time, maybe even reach so that your pinky fingers touch. If it feels okay in your shoulders, press down, lengthen up, lift your heart. Oh. Good. And then stretch your arms up, feeling all that length. And then on your next exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart a little bit more. And then really rooting down, stretch up again. And then bring your arms in front of you and place your left elbow on top of your right. And then you can either hug your shoulders, bring the backs of your hands together, or wrap, depending on how it feels for you. And then allow yourself to just lengthen up here. Feel a nice connection, broadening the clavicles. Big stretch in your shoulders and your back. Good. And then unwind. Stretch your arms up again, remembering that root to rise. Crampage. Great. It's been a while. Good. Exhale. And the elbows lift the heart. Oh. Stretch it up again. And bring your hands in front and switch. So now, right elbow on top of your left. Hug. Backs of hands or wrap. Root to rise. And then unwind, stretch the arms up again. Feel that length and twist to your right. And then back to center, root to rise, and twist left. And come on back. And please transition to all fours. Let's take my sweatshirt off. Hopefully this isn't out in anyone's ear there. Just start to work through some cow and cat. Stretch everything out. And then next time you come to cow pose, just pause there and just kind of swivel your hips side to side. Good. And then round to cat and do the same thing. Swivel your hips side to side. Good. And then come to a flat back. And again, swivel your hips side to side. Good. And then curl your toes under, walk your hands back to sit on your heels or just on your knees. And just stretch out your hands, spread your fingers wide, open up your wrists. Good. That feels awesome. And then come on back down and bring your hands forward of your shoulders now. Keep those hands spread wide and think root to rise with your hands. So press down with your hands and your feet and lift up to a downward facing dog. That's a interesting thing. When you press into the floor presses back. And you can feel really like you're rising. Walk your dogs out a little bit. Stretch everything. And maybe swivel your hips side to side here as well. And then slowly walk your feet up to your hands and come to a forward fold. And remembering your feet again, just notice all four corners of the feet really grounding down, and maybe even each toe mound and maybe even each toe. Might have to bend your knees a little bit to feel that really well. You feel extremely rooted. And then bending your knees a little bit more, bring your hands on your knees, press into your feet, and come on up to standing. Good. Feeling really rooted, stretch your arms up. Good. And exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, really feel your feet rooted, stretch up. And bring your hands down by your side. Just kind of stand with your palms open. Really feel rooted and long. You feel that? Good. Now slide your hands to your hips. And I'm just going to have you fold forward to a pranam. So you might have to bend your knees a little bit, but keep really rooted through your feet. So you just fold forward about halfway and then press root to rise to come back up. You'll feel it in your legs. And do that again. Fold forward. Root to rise. And this time fold forward and hold it there for a moment. Think long back of neck, long through the top of the head, and then again, reach down and touch the floor. Now just pranam, just remembering all that work you did. So inhale, extend, exhale, fold. And now step your feet back to a plank pose. And notice your hands, think root to rise. If you need to lower your knees, feel free. We're gonna hold, I want you to think the whole back of my body is rising, even the back of my head and the back of my neck, back of my shoulders. Good, and then lower to the mat. Let's just warm up the back a little more. So stretch your feet long, inhale to cobra, exhale back down. And do that again. Inhale, cobra, exhale back down. One more time. Down. Downward facing dog. Root to rise. And step your feet up to your hands again. Pranam. Strong root to rise, pranam. Hold. And this time sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, stretch it up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Good. Grab your blocks. Bring them to the outside of your feet. And standing in Tadasana again. Just feel when you open your hands like that, it just kind of feels open. Your heart feels open. You feel really strong. This is actually Tadasana. I always say Tadasana when you stretch your arms, but this is the real mountain pose. So inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift your heart, feel really rooted. Inhale, stretch it up. And exhale, fold. Just for fun, pranam. Really feeling rooted. Hold. Step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Now you have the knee touching the ground as well as the front foot. Bring your hands to your front knee. And notice all those places touching the ground, even your left toes, either curled under or stretched straight. Everything's pressing down to feel really strong and grounded, and then rise up out of that to Anjane Asana. Been playing my sunshine playlist this week. Next, exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart. And it's worked. We got the sun today. Reach up towards the sun. Feel that root to rise. Good. Touch down. Lift the back knee. Step back to plank. Feel root to rise. Bring your left knee towards your chest. Hug your left heel in towards your bum. And then step it through. Right knee can lower. Take a moment to feel rooted, to stretch up. Next, exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart, and inhale, stretch it back up, and touch down. Lift the back knee, step back plank. Right knee towards your chest, hug the heel in. Feel really strong in your core. You're probably feeling rounded, which is good, and step it through. Good. step your left foot up by your right, forward fold. Pranam. And fold. Root to rise all the way up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, stretch it up. And exhale, bring your arms down. You might step back away from your blocks a little bit. So we're going to do some balance. So find your best Tadasana so you feel super rooted. And then just shift your weight to your right foot, lift your left heel. And just think root to rise. Bring the left knee up. Woo. And if you're feeling stable, extend your arms. Root to rise. And release. Nice, you guys. Find that grounded position again. Lift the left heel, or your right heel, I mean. Lift the right knee. Think root to rise up. And release. Nice. Okay, do that again, but I'm going to have you switch to tree pose. You have to do tree pose when you're doing root to rise, right? So either heel to ankle, heel or foot below knee, or foot above knee. You get to decide, okay? So start with the knee lifted. So Tadasana, lift your left heel, lift the knee. And then if when you're feeling stable, transition to whatever tree wanting. Root to rise. Ooh, my tree's grounded, but the breeze is blowing it. Good. Come on out when you're ready. Switch sides. Lift the knee first. And then decide. And release. Done. Come on up. Back between your blocks. And for fun, just bring your big toes together. If it feels good, you can bring the whole foot together. And then try and feel grounded here and rooted. Just notice. And then if you could feel stable, if you need to bring the feet apart a little bit, do. Otherwise, extend your arms up. Root to rise. Good. And the elbows, lift your heart. Inhale, stretch it up. You're like a tall pole now. Bring hands to heart center. And just pause and close your eyes for a minute to see if you can still feel pretty stable. Takes a little more effort. Really press down through your feet. Open your eyes, stretch your arms up. And then fold forward. Pranam. And hands to the block. Step the right foot back, but not too far. You're going to bend your left knee your left heel and sits bone line up, your right heel and sits bone line up. Maybe your toes point out a little bit and your heel's grounded. Yeah. And then root down, come upright, left knee's bent. Try and lift the arches of your feet as well. This is warrior one. Stretch up if you're feeling stable. Next exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart if you're feeling stable. Inhale, stretch it up. Good, touch the blocks. Step your right foot all the way back now to deep lunge. And then ground that foot down to warrior two position. And come upright. So I always have to really make an effort to make sure I feel rooted in that back foot, the little toe side. And then I have to tell myself, okay, lift the arch of the right foot and the left foot. Add your arms. Warrior two. Root to rise up. Feel pressing down how you can feel nice and strong and tall. Now press into the front foot, straighten your left leg, and do a reverse. So right hand down, left arm up. That's it. Good. Bend back into the front foot. You still feel that root to rise. Warrior two. And windmill down, turn the back heel up. If you want, you can step back to down dog and walk your feet forward. If you want a more challenging option, step your left foot back to plank. Hug your right knee in, hug your right heel in, really round a little bit, step it through. And if you did the other version, step your left foot back. Step the left foot to a little bit closer so that you can come to that warrior one position. So remember, right heel, right sits bone, left heel, left sits bone line up. Feel super grounded. And if you want, extend your arms. Really feeling both feet supporting you, rooted down, except for your arches are lifting. Next exhale, lift your heart, bend the elbows, stretch it up. Good, and touch down. Step your left foot back a little further, ground it down. Warrior two. Root to rise. My sunshine playlist worked because we got sun today. Woo-hoo! I know. I was like, I woke up so early this morning. It's like, why is it so light? Yay! Straighten the front knee and reverse it. Just feeling really super grounded and tall and stable. Good. Come back. Warrior two. Windmill down. Turn the back heel up and either downward dog or plank. Root down to rise up. Good, everyone. Push back to down dog. And lower your knees. And come on down to a child's pose. Nice. Slow breath. When you get closer to the ground, you feel more rooted as well. Grounded. And then come on back up onto the blocks. Down dog. And plank. If you want to, just step your feet forward. If you're going to step through, hug your left knee in, point your left toes, hug your left heel towards your bum. Really feel strong, stable, both armpits lifting. Step it through. Good job. Step forward. Root. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift your heart. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. And take a moment there. What are your tendencies? Do you kind of relax through your feet, or do you still feel super grounded? Next, inhale, sweep it all the way up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, sweep up. And bring your hands down by your side. Everyone turn towards the middle and take a wide stance. And just take a moment here to feel super grounded through your feet. So it's easy to feel the inner edge. Can you feel the outer edge as well? Feel your arches lift. Good. Now, once you get that, you might have to bend the knees a little bit. Make sure the kneecaps and toes point the same direction. Stretch your arms up. And bring hands down through heart center and to your hips. Think root to rise. And then fold forward, just like we did with our feet together, just to halfway. Feel the back of your neck lift. Press into your feet, come on up. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet, come back up. Last time. Good, inhale, sweep your arms up. This time, fold all the way down. You can bring your fingertips to the floor. Just take a moment there to feel super rooted. And then root to rise all the way up. Stretch your arms up and bring them down through heart center. Good. Whichever foot is forward, turn it towards the front of the room. Bend into your front knee. Root to rise again in warrior two. That's it. Make sure your knee's tracking straight. I always have to think to myself, okay, am I lengthening my spine, really engaging my core? One more breath. And then on your next inhale, straighten the front leg. And this time fold to triangle pose. Thinking root to rise, and wherever you touch with your left hand or whatever hands down, think I can press into my ankle, the floor, whatever, to then rise up through my opposite hand. Feel length through my core. Gorgeous, you guys. Bend your front knee. Come back up, warrior two. Good. Straighten your leg. Release your arms for a moment and switch. Now you're going to be facing the back. Mindfully ground down. Bend your front knee. Add the arms when you're ready, warrior two. Feel the back foot grounded. Can lengthen up out of that. Good. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg. Hold the triangle. Every part that's touching the floor, really root it down. Then lengthen out of it. Nice, you guys. Beautiful. Bend your knee to come back up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Release your hands. Release your feet. And just heel toe, walk your feet towards you. Whew. Good job. You can set your blocks off to the side and come down to all fours again. Use your knee push if you want. And then just hands slightly in front of your shoulders. And bring your elbows down where your hands are and interlace. So elbows are slightly in front of shoulders and the same width. And then I want you to think, okay, press forearms, wrists, hands down along with the shoulders, and then lift your knees, dolphin pose. So just take a moment to feel root to rise here. I like to bend my knees slightly just to think sits bones up, long spine, should feel a big stretch in your shoulders. Your head's not coming to the ground, but the back of your neck is nice and long, supported. More breath. And come on back down. Well done. Take a child's pose for a moment. Sometimes we steal from ourselves because we tell ourselves we can't do something. Sometimes we steal from ourselves because we tell ourselves to push harder and it's not what we need. So come back up into that position. Well, look up here for a minute. I'm going to give you the option. You can do just what we did, or if you want, you can walk your feet closer. Just make sure your shoulders don't go in front of your elbows, and then maybe extend one leg and then the other. Just play with it a little bit. So everyone, find your position, come up to dolphin pose. And if you want more, walk your feet closer, just see how it feels. I want you to feel stable, front and back side of your shoulders. Yeah, nice. Try it. Good, Jeanette. Yeah, really nice, everybody. Just a playtime. And come on back down. And go ahead and transition to your back. And just take a minute there to, now you feel different parts touching the ground. Maybe your sacrum, still feel your feet. Maybe your shoulder blades, maybe even slide them underneath a little bit more. And hands by your hips. And just take a moment to press all those places down. So the back of the head, the shoulders, the sacrum, the feet, and then just lose the sacrum by pushing your hips up. Satu Bandha. Lift your heart. Lift your chin a little bit if it feels like it's too much on your neck. Feel a curve in the neck. Good. And then lower back down. And hug your knees in for a moment. Just kind of move the knees side to side. And then set up for Satu Bandha bridge pose again. Feel shoulder blades, back of head, sacrum, feet, arms, hands. Press into your feet, lift your hips. This time, see, maybe you can slide the shoulders underneath a little more. Maybe even interlace your hands so that you can really feel all parts of your arm pressing down. And then pretend like there's a cup of water on your belly. You're going to just lift your right knee up towards your chest. Extend the leg up towards the ceiling. Bend it in, bring it down. Check. Still have a flat belly. Hold that water. Left knee comes in. Stretch it up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. Bring it flat. And release the hands. Come all the way down. Take a moment. Bring your arms to cactus. Bring your feet a little wider. And just do a couple windshield wipers. Wipe it all away. When you're evened out, bring both knees up. Hug them in again. And bring the feet flat again. Everything aligned. Bring your right ankle over your left thigh. If you want more stretch, interlace behind, reach between, interlace behind the left thigh. Stretch out that hip. Now listen carefully. Extend the right leg up towards the ceiling and then ground it down to the floor. Send it straight down. Straighten your left leg. Bend and flex. Point, flex. Big circle maybe. Good. And then bend your right knee. Place your left ankle on the right knee. Interlace behind the right thigh if that works for your hips. A little hip stretch. I like to wiggle around a little bit. And then stretch your left leg up straight and bring it down to the floor. And straighten your right leg. Press your leg into your hands. Flex and point a few times. Make a big circle. Release both feet flat. Walk the feet together. Soles of the feet come together, knees open wide. Hands can come on the belly or on your inner thigh. Just notice all the parts that are touching the floor here. And just relax into the floor a bit. Closing your knees. Go ahead and stretch your legs out and your arms out for Shavasana. Again, notice all parts touching the floor. Relax into it. Every exhale, think a little deeper. Relax your tongue. Relax the soles of your feet. Notice the feeling in your cells of a little buzzing. Your fingers. Like the joy of the sea coming home to shore, may the relief of laughter rinse through your soul. As the wind loves to call things to dance, may your gravity be lightened by grace. Like the dignity of moonlight restoring the earth, may your thoughts incline with reverence and respect. As water takes whatever shape it is in, so free may you be about who you become. As silence smiles on the other side of what's said, may your sense of irony bring perspective. As time remains free of all that it frames, may your mind stay clear of all it names. May your prayer of listening deepen enough to hear in the depth the laughter of God. It's from John O'Donohue, Book of Blessings. Again, to notice that your breath is moving in and out. Perhaps take a little bit longer inhale and let it all go with a deep exhale. Cleansing breath. And start to move in small ways when you're ready. Just take your time coming on up to seated. Rest on your right side as you come up if you'd like. And once you get into seated, feel a grounding root to rise. And just take a moment to just scan your body, see how it feels. And please bring hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for practice today. You wanted to thank you guys at home too. Have a great weekend. And remember, I won't be here on Tuesday.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay,
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Lisa.
Thank you. Remember, I won't be here Tuesday. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'll be here Friday though.
Have a good weekend.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Bye.